Don't know your Arneis from your elbow? Let's follow Alberto Oggero and this 2022 white wine named simply with its DOCG, Roero. We're here, Piemonte, northwest Italy, on the left bank of the river Tanaro, northwest of Alba. It's got that moderate continental climate with cold winters and warm summers, moderated by frequent fog. Soils are generally marl sandstone with a prevalence of sandstone, marine origin sedimentary rocks, and a high content of limestone, clay and sand. As is the case with Piemonte's more hallowed hillsides of Barolo and Barbaresco, dig deeper and more intricate soil divergences emerge, and the region taps into these slight differences with a well-defined set of menzioni geografiche aggiuntive, or MGAs. Cru is the French shorthand we tend to use, meaning distinct, officially recognised growing areas. This is considered a semi-arid zone. The hills are almost devoid of water. It has the lowest rainfall in southern Piemonte with an average of 650 to 720 millimeters per year. It mostly falls from October to January, and winter snowfall is also vital for replenishing underground reserves in time for the growing season. Roero DOCG Reds comprise a minimum 95% Nebbiolo grapes, but in almost all cases you're drinking pure Nebbiolo, typically in a more approachable, less tannic, lighter framed guise than in Barolo or Barbaresco. Roero DOCG Whites, meanwhile, are at least 95% Arneis, but in reality 100% most often. The DOCG also allows Arneis Spumante, a bone-dry to sweet sparkling wine, and Riserva in both colours, where wines from more concentrated, structured grapes are aged for longer before release. Roero vines grow almost exclusively on hillsides, often on very steep slopes. There are currently a little over 1,000 hectares of vineyards registered under the Roero denomination. 4/5 of those vines are Arneis. The first evidence of Arneis here dates back to the 15th century, but this grape's overwhelming favour is a more recent phenomenon. In the 1700s, Arneis made mostly sweet wine or vermouth. In the 1900s, its sweetness and relatively early ripening meant it was cultivated as table grape and placed next to Nebbiolo, so sweet-toothed birds would peck at it and leave the more precious Nebbiolo alone. It was also added to Nebbiolo to take the edge off the latter's notorious tannins. In fact, its nickname is White Nebbiolo, even though the two varieties are unrelated. It wasn't far off extinction in actual fact when superstar producers Vietti and Bruno Giacosa sparked a revival from the 1970s onwards. Vineyards dedicated to Arneis were reconstructed and wineries started to really dial into dry renditions in a big way. Arneis is early to medium budding, thus susceptible to spring frost, and typically reaches maturity in the second half of September, maybe about a month or so before Nebbiolo. It's typically made as an aromatic, unoaked, drink-young style, where you might expect aromas of chamomile, pear, lemon and white peach, with subtle herbal notes like lemon myrtle, spearmint and tarragon. However, more complex, age-worthy examples exist, and I suspect we're still learning what it's really capable of. A reputedly rapid drop in acidity once it hits ripeness appears to be a factor to navigate. This wine sees a bit of skin contact and pours a pale amber colour. It smells of pear, peach and pollen with a bit of dried apricot and cassia bark. The palate is dry and savoury yet wet and refreshing. A peach skin and pulp sensation with nice grip, finishing with mandarin blossoms and an autumnal orchard impression.